You step out. Grandfather dead. Chamber silent. Break time 600 mens. You remember that much. The reason? Erased. The log reads, this is the 14th iteration. The quantum leap. Today we trace the physics that solved the 70-year paradox. The quantum leap. We write science fiction that isn't fiction. You killed your grandfather 14 times. Forgot every time. This is a closed timeline curve. Space-time folds back. In 2025, Vanderbilt physicist Gavassino published the mechanism. On a CTC, quantum entropy doesn't increase, it resets. Memory resets with it. The motive dissolves before you act. The paradox dissolves, not prevented, forgotten. 60 million people watched Back to the Future in 1985. The grandfather paradox was already there. Everyone saw it. Travel back, kill him, erase yourself. The trip never happens. So you exist again, and make the trip. Physicists call this a self-contradiction. The logic breaks. Kurt Gödel solved part of it in 1949, accidentally. His rotating universe had CTCs built in. Einstein worried. Does it disturb you? Gödel reportedly asked Einstein. It did. Real astrophysical objects contain CTCs, Kerr black holes, hidden behind the event horizon. Accessible in principle, not practice. Kip Thorne changed the conversation in 1988. Traversable wormholes. Exotic matter could stabilize a wormhole time loop. Thorne won the Nobel in 2017 for gravitational waves. His wormhole blueprints still wait unprovable in the literature. What strikes us 3 decades of impasse, no mechanism. Every solution created new problems. Every model raised more. Forward from here, 3 independent mechanisms, 3 answers. None agree. The real investigation starts now. Which one holds up? First mechanism. Igor Novikov's self-consistency principle. 1980s. Novikov. If an event causes paradox, its probability is 0. Physics enforces self-consistency. You cannot change the past paradoxically. The billiard ball experiment, Echeverria, 1991. Thorne's team. A ball enters a wormhole, emerges earlier, deflects itself. Novikov showed a continuous family of self-consistent solutions always exists. Novikov doesn't explain why, only that it must be. A consistency demand with no enforcement arm, that's the gap. Second mechanism, Stephen Hawking. Chronology protection conjecture. 1992. Hawking. Quantum vacuum fluctuations destroy any CTC before traversal. Nature has a failsafe. Every time machine self-destructs. In 2009, Hawking threw his party, sent invites after. Come back to this moment. 0 RSVPs is proof. We note Hawking's experiment had real methodological limits. A 2041 traveler needs 2041 technology. Hawking invited 2009 guests. The 2026 European Physical Journal paper supports Hawking's side. Traversable wormhole shows scalar field instabilities. Directional collapse. This is peer-reviewed, not industry-funded, not a press release. But it is preprint, single study, replication pending. The honest answer, Hawking's conjecture remains unproven. Elegant, not conclusive. 3 physicists, 3 frameworks. Which one do you think holds? Third mechanism, Seth Lloyd at MIT. Quantum post-selection. 2009. Lloyd's framework. Paradoxical outcomes have 0 probability. Quantum enforces it. Post-selection, the universe only keeps self-consistent histories. David Deutsch at Oxford added the density matrix formalism. 1991. Deutsch's insight changes everything. You don't need one consistent history. You need a consistent probability distribution, a mixed quantum state. Lord's model cannot actually travel in time. Critical limitation. It simulates CTC physics, cannot generate an actual loop. Quantum computing enters the story. Real hardware. 2025. NUS Singapore ran the first quantum CTC simulation. 2021. They proved the physics is internally consistent, the math works. But proving consistency is not the same as demonstrating traversal. GPS satellites run our largest daily test of relativity, 40 microseconds ahead of Earth clocks. Engineers corrected. Without that correction, GPS drifts 11 kilometers per day. Astronaut Scott Kelly, aged 0, born seconds less than twin Mark. Forward time travel is not speculation. Every astronaut experiences it. Backward time travel is the problem. 3 models break. A fourth approach arrived. Vanderbilt, January 2025. Different answer. Novikov, Hawking, Lloyd, all about to be reconsidered. Lorenzo Gavassino, Vanderbilt University. Published January 19, 2025. Journal Classical and Quantum Gravity. Peer-reviewed? Replicated? Not yet. Gavassino drew on Carlo Rapelli's entropy interpretation, relational quantum mechanics. On a closed Timelike loop, entropy does not increase monotonically. IBM ran a time loop on real quantum hardware. 2025. Maria Violaris at IBM Quantum. RX Civ paper 2506. 15,909. June 2025. Her circuits mimic CTC behavior. Can information survive the loop? The result, post-selected CTC protocols recover information across the loop. Physical Review Research Volume 8 2026. Protocol experimentally validated. We haven't time traveled. We've proven the physics is self-consistent. Now Gavassino's entropy reset. This is the paradigm shift. Novikov said, paradoxes are impossible. But didn't say why physically. Hawking, vacuum fluctuations destroy CTCs. Conjecture still unproven. Gavassino's answer is different. The universe doesn't block the paradox. It erases the traveler's memory before the loop closes. Gavassino's exact quote, "The untimely death could be reversible. Your memory of wanting to murder him may be erasable." This is a horror comedy science revelation depending on your perspective. You arrive in 1985. Find your grandfather. Approach him. Motive dissolves. Quantum entropy erases it. Loop closes cleanly. The grandfather lives. Not because you failed, you forgot. What strikes us, no divine intervention required here. No multiverse branch required. Nothing exotic at all. Only what quantum mechanics already gives us. Entropy. Probability. Hawking threw a party for time travelers. 2009. Nobody came. Invitation sent after the party. Come back. 0 RSVPs. Hawking took the empty party as proof. Timeline protected. Gavassino's model says Hawking identified the symptom, not the mechanism. The loop erases the motive. Physics doesn't block it. Hawking's party stays empty, but the physics stays open. The bootstrap paradox remains. Information with no origin, still unresolved. Information loops back, becomes its own origin, created from nothing. Novikov's self-consistency doesn't resolve this. Gavassino's entropy doesn't either. The Gödel universe rotates. Ours expands. CTCs may not form. A slightly rotating universe might have CTCs everywhere. Detectable. Gavassino's model needs no DeLorean, no time machine at all. It needs only a closed space-time loop. Kerr black holes. The scenario thought two futures diverge from this physics. Version 1, we build the CTC chamber, test Gavassino. Version 2, Hawking holds, CTCs never form, never tested. What does this mean for physics, for us? The grandfather paradox was never really about grandfathers. Causality itself, the structure of time, the nature of consequence. Gavassino's solution preserves causality, but at a cost. The cost, memory, identity, the intention you erased. If you forget every choice, are you still its agent? This is a question neuroscientists are already asking, separately. Free will, memory, causality, three fields, same question. A framework worth carrying, we call it the entropy audit. Any closed-loop system must account for entropy's behavior. In a CTC, entropy reset is not optional. Physics enforces. This is what Gavassino proved within his model's assumptions. His model assumes quantum mechanics holds at the CTC boundary. When we read this paper, we check the methodology twice. Elegant, might be right, awaits the community's verdict. The 1,985 teenagers in that theater now run these labs. They spent 40 years asking, was Marty's problem real physics? January 2025. More real than it was in 1985. What does this mean? It's 2041, the chamber is built. A volunteer steps in, the loop runs. Iteration 14, they step out. Memory intact, paradox didn't form, Gavassino right. Or they step out, memory gone, motive erased, also right. What changes if confirmed? Everything about information and time. AI training, cryptography, all assume time-forward entropy. If entropy resets on a loop, those assumptions need revisiting. Gavassino's paper is open access in classical and quantum gravity. Carlo Rovelli's relational quantum mechanics underpins much of this. Track this, IBM Quantum's 2026 CTC circuit extension results. Physical review research replication results, that's the confirmation signal. We'll be tracking it. This question doesn't resolve quietly. We may not be protected from the past by impossibility. We may be protected by mechanism, quantum physics self-erasing. Either deeply reassuring or deeply unsettling, depends on your philosophy. Somewhere now, a researcher runs the model that refines this. You don't know their name yet. You will eventually. The past is never as settled as it appears. Hawking said impossible, then quantum computers proved self-consistent. The grandfather paradox may be solved. The deeper questions begin. Track the Gavassino replication, full breakdown pinned in the comments. Next week, if memory is erasable, what happens to identity?